Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream here on Woo English. As always, my name is Hamza, and I will be your host. And today we're talking about the 4th of July, actually, probably for those of you who have probably seen the live stream before, we have actually planned for an Elon Musk and Donald Trump situation live stream, but then we decided to change it to the 4th of July, which is today. And there is a very big event going on in the United States today. And so today we're going to see what's going on in the United States today. What's so special about the 4th of July for the American people, since this is an English learning channel, and since this is a channel that is like related to what's going on in America and what's going on in the English speaking world. So today we're going to talk about the 4th of July in the United States. So welcome, and this is very briefly what we will do today. So we will start with a little quiz to test your knowledge about the topic that we are going to discuss today. We'll see some vocabulary. We will do the first reading, then the second reading, and right. So that's basically, and of course, we'll do some more vocabulary around the end. And finally, we will have a little discussion if, of course, we still have some time. So this will basically be today's live stream plan. And of course, let me very briefly remind you of our channel, Woo English. Let me just adjust myself. So, Woo English is a channel that, as you all know, dedicated to learning English through stories. We believe the best way you can learn any language, especially English, is if you learn that language through a context, in a meaningful context. And that's why we try to give you some stories that you can learn English through. All right, let me play. All right. Okay. So let us probably start, and I want to start with a little question for today. So a warm up, a little warm up that I want to start the session with, which is uh, describe your week only using emojis. So this is our first task for today. Oops. So describe your week using only emojis. This is your first task for the day. So in the chat, I want you to write a few emojis that can describe your week. Like you can describe your feelings or your activities or your mood or like the highlight of your week or whatever you like to describe about your week. Write it for me in the chat, but in emojis, using only emojis. And of course, like the viewers will try to tell what you are talking about in the chat. So if you can do that, let me do one. Let me take a try. All right. So again, the challenge is to describe your week using only emojis. All right. I'm gonna describe my own week. All right. Are you ready? Wait. Let me just write everything. Describe your right. Describe your week using only emojis. For example, mine. All right. Wait. This. All right. And meanwhile, let me very briefly like check what's going on YouTube so that I can know if there is anything that I need to change or all right. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So yeah. All right. Perfect. Perfect. I just checked and everything looks very good. All right. So yeah, number one. All right. So describe your week using only emojis. These are mine. So if you can tell what's going on during my week, what's going on in my week here. So I have three emojis. There is a city, there is a truck, there is a city. So what do you think my week was about? What was the highlight of my week, in your opinion? You can either guess what my week was about, or you can tell me what your week was about. So you can either try to guess what I'm trying to tell you here using my emojis, my own emojis, or you can tell me what your you can share with us your own emojis about your own week. But I would love for people to join the chat. I know it always starts very slow here at Who English here in the live streams, and that's okay. All right, I don't have anything yet. All right, I don't have any answers yet, so I'm gonna move to the topic of today, which is the following. So the topic of today's live stream will be this: what do Americans celebrate today? So if you know what exactly do Americans celebrate today, which is the 4th of July, please share it with us in the chat. So what do Americans celebrate today? Americans have a very special day today, which is very important for them. Like for Americans, today is one of the most important days in the calendar. So, what exactly is the celebration? And please, while you are waiting, while you are watching, for someone to kindly join the chat, if you can double click on the screen, that would be very nice of you. Sambo, hello. All right, whatever that means. So, hello to you, Sambo. Where are you joining us from, Sambo? Great. So I honestly like this. So sometimes like people start like interacting little by little, and that's very a very good sign for me. Like people are opening a little bit more. So what do Americans celebrate today, this day? And as I said before, today was actually supposed to be about a different topic, but we decided like around the very end to actually change the topic because I thought, well, we can talk about the other topic about Trump and Elon Musk some other day. But uh, wonderful. All right, so there you go. So we have a correct answer here. So Sambo says today, America, the United States celebrates Independence Day, and that's absolutely correct. So let's go now and try to know more information. So Sambo, thank you so much. What are you joining us from? Cambodia? Wonderful. This is the first time, by the way. This is the first time someone joins from Cambodia. So welcome, Sambo. I hope this is, I don't know if this is your first time watching the live stream, but I hope it won't be your last. You seem very interesting person, very energetic person. Wonderful. So, what do Americans celebrate today? Indeed, today in the United States is the Independence Day. Where are you from? I'm from Morocco, Sambo. Do you know where Morocco is? Do you know where Morocco is? And yeah, all right, good. So, which holiday is celebrated on the 4th of July in the United States? It is the holiday and it is a celebration. Can someone tell me what is the difference between a holiday and a celebration? Is there a difference between these two? Because there is actually. Holiday is not celebration. These are two different words. Maybe they can happen at the same time. Boo Boo, hi. My friend, I asked so many times about Boo Boo, we shared with you. Wait a second. Wait a second. I answered you last time, by the way, but you were already gone. So let me share with you again the what you asked for. Wait a second. All right. Yes. Copy. All right. So what is my friend Boo Boo? All right, but you need to stay there, right? There it is in the chat. I shared it with you. But don't go right now, all right? Because you asked about this video last time. So here it is. I shared it with you right here, right? I shared it with you last time, but you were already gone. So I'm very happy that you came back to ask about your video. So here is your video. It's right there in the chat. You can click on it, but please stay there for the moment. Watch with us the live stream, and then you can go later on. So as I was saying, what do we celebrate? Sambo already answered for this question. I have my friend Naif from Facebook, and Naif says the answer is B, which is Independence Day. All right, wonderful. So, welcome, Naif, of course. Welcome to everybody who is watching on Facebook or YouTube or X. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much, Booba. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you passing by, man. Yeah, so as I said, well, that's a very kind comment from you, Booba. Thank you so much. As I was saying, so today, indeed, like you guys said, it is the Independence Day in the United States, right? So that's today. But let me ask you a question. They got their independence. I'm sorry to say this. So, wait. So today is the Independence Day in the United States. But who did they get their independence from? Because the United States, we know, is a country that can like that doesn't mind its business, and it intervenes in other cultures, in other in other countries. So who was occupying the United States? We know the United States is a very, very strong nation. Today, I don't think that there is a nation that can conquer or occupy the United States. It's a very strong country, though I'm not from the United States, but this is a fact. But who used to occupy or colonize the United States before it got its independence from? So who did Americans get their independence from? That's the question I'm asking now. Naif, watching us from YouTube, where are you from? And you got your first answer correct, by the way. So that's awesome. Let me turn this. The background looks very. All right. No. All right. It's okay. This background looks very, very dull. Okay. Who did the United States gain its independence from? I'm gonna move on, but I will wait for your answer in the chat. Yes. So today it's the Independence Day in the United States, a very, very, very important day there. So what do people do? Basically, in the United States, they wave flags, and they have a lot of fireworks, and they have a lot of parades. You know, guys, what is a parade? Parade is like a march, right? So public marching in the street with music and live shows. That's basically what a parade is, because I may guess that some of you will be wondering what is a parade. So parade basically is, as you can see here at the top. So a parade is like a public march. It's like a lot of people marching in the streets and they are waving flags or playing some music, or like they are doing fireworks or doing some like kind of shows, public shows in the public street. So that's what a live show is. All right. Yeah. So this is what a parade is. Parade. So most of that, what Americans do on Independence Day is parading and making fireworks, right? Those colorful explosions that you can see here in the picture that I have right here. So this is what they do basically on Independence Day, and that's why we decided to talk about that today, because today is Independence Day in America. Maybe, of course, also President Trump will make a speech today, and he will address Americans and talk to them. And U.S. was colonized by England. Yes, this is the question that I asked before. Exactly, Nayef, exactly. From the United Kingdom, exactly. That's the correct answer. Yes. So Sambo, Nayef doing a great job today. Who fought in the American War of Independence? Of course, Nayef and Sambo both answered it, but I'm gonna give you another chance to answer it if you would love. Was it the French and the British, the Americans and the British, or the Americans and the Spanish? Of course, you guys, I think by now you know the correct answer, which is the Americans and the British. So basically, America was colonized, was occupied, or was controlled by Britain for like a lot of years. Exactly, Sambo. So they were colonized by the United Kingdom for a long time. But later they gained their independence, and that's what we are going to talk about today. I see lots of people joining. Welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about the independence war in the United States. So it will be a listening. So we'll do some listening, we'll learn some vocabulary, and we will learn some historic facts. Here, so this is a picture from the war. This is a painting actually from the war. You can see like the Americans fighting the British in America, because Britain wanted to keep control in the United States, but the Americans had enough. Especially, so Americans had enough of the United Kingdom and wanted them to go. They wanted to be independent from Britain, especially after a very, very unique event. And we will talk about that event today, actually. It's a very interesting event in the history of the United States. All right. So please, while you are watching, I want to ask you a little favor. If you can please double click on the screen. That's my little request from you guys. So if you can just double click on the screen to like the video, of course, if that's possible. That's helps the video like gets exposed and get recommended to more and more people. So let's go back. All right. Yes. So this is the event I was talking about, and we will learn about it today. I'm not going to explain it too much right now. I'm not going to explain too much about this. Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party. Very important event in the history of the United States. Boston Tea Party. Did they have a party like they were partying while there was war? Not really. But this event was called the Boston Tea Party. I want to ask you, what year did it happen, the Boston Tea Party? Did it happen in 1773, 1765, or 1783? Of course, if you don't know, you can guess. This is what I always like. This is my motto. This is my like my motto in on this channel. If you don't know the answer, it's okay to guess. I don't mind you guessing. All right, there is someone guessing. Someone took my word. I have no idea about this. Great. This is what we want. So we want you to learn something about the United States. The Boston Tea Party was an event that directly led, almost directly, led to the independence of the United States of the United States from Britain. I would say C, but C in 1783, the United States was already independent. So this happened way before. It happened in 1773. right before the war or the independence war, right? So it happened right before the independence war. It's called the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party. Very interesting event. We're gonna learn about it today. So great. So you see, you're gonna learn something around by the end of this. Yes, and this is a picture of it. And we're gonna come back to this picture, by the way, later on. And let me just all right. So slide 15, so that I know where to go back. All right. So this is the Boston Tea Party, and we're gonna talk about it today. Good. So when the United States was fighting with Britain, who was the leader of the army? Who was leading them? Who was leading Americans against the? Yeah, okay. I have a lot of people right now. So, do you know the Boston Tea Party? Anyone who does, please, you can comment whatever you know about the event in the chat. The Boston Tea Party, very important event in the history of America. All right, it happened in 1773. It directly led to the independence. B. All right. Give me a second, guys, please. My laptop is acting out. All right. So my friend Sambo from Cambodia says the leader of the American army during the independence war was George Washington. Do you agree with Sambo? Do you agree that it's B? So Sambo, I want to ask you a question. Where did you learn English? Because your English seems very good. Same question for you, Naif, from Facebook. Where do you guys learn English from? Did you learn it at school or at a special B? Naif, wonderful. This is the first time I have someone very active from Facebook. So Naif, thank you so much for keeping up Facebook working. And the answer is indeed George Washington. This is the guy. This is the guy. I think you see him on the dollar, right? On I don't know which bill. I think it's the $100 bill, but you can see him on a like one of the bills, one of the money bills, bank bills, that's or banknotes in the United States. And of course, the whole like the capital of the United States is called Washington D.C. So cool. This is Washington. This is the guy who led the United States against Britain in the Independence War, which is today, like the Americans celebrated today, which is why we're talking about it. So again, I want to just remind you, if you can double click on the screen, please, so that we can move on. I would love for more people to join us, so that's why I keep asking you to click the like button. All right. Yes. Good. So when was the United States officially independent? Because, well, the war against Britain started, and then they fought for some years, and then the United States was officially independent. When did that happen? In 1781, in 1775, or in 1776? When was the United States officially independent from Britain? School ones. Mostly I spent learning by myself, by listening and reading, and I'm still all right. I'm gonna just be by myself here. I want you guys to read with me Sambo's. This is where Sambo learned his English. This can be beneficial for a lot of you. So Sambo says, I attended school once, but mostly I spent learning by myself. So he said that he is learning English by himself, because I was very impressed by the level of English that Sambo has, and reading, and I'm still listening every day. Perfect. That's a great ingredient for learning. Let's see my friend Naif also, where he learns English. So he said, I'm learning English from media and some applications. Wonderful. Very good. If you have any recommendations, both of you, Sambo and Naif, please share it with our viewers. For us at Wo English, like in this channel, we also teach you English, right? But we teach English through listening. So we believe that you can learn English the same way little babies learn English, which is by listening. All right. So this is basically the idea of this channel. So we believe that little children, no one teaches them grammar. For example, you can think about your mother tongue, your first language. For me, it's Arabic. It's Darija, exactly. No one taught me Darija in like with paper and pen. I was listening to my parents speak and I started learning their language automatically. And this is what we believe is the best way to learn English. This is the whole idea of our channel. So we believe that you need to listen and then your brain will start internalizing. I know a lot of people will say, well, when you are listening, maybe you will not understand a lot of words, and that's okay. Babies don't understand lots of words as well. They only start picking up little by little, and that's exactly how you should learn English. And um, uh, of course, maybe today you will understand 10%. Tomorrow you will understand 20%. The next day you will understand 30%, and it goes on. Uh, I don't think you can listen to English frequently and not learn anything. That's impossible. You will definitely learn something. So this is what we believe. And we believe also that learning English should be fun, right? Learning English should be fun. So that's why our stories are very interesting. Like we talk about politics, we talk about history, we talk about biography, we talk about a lot of topics, lots of topics that are very interesting to our viewers. And so that way you are learning English and you are learning facts as well, like we are doing today. You will not be just learning English, you will be learning English, you will be learning some history, you will be learning about Sambo, you will be learning about the Boston Tea Party today. You will learn what happened in that day. Okay, so the English language did not become the official language of the United States until this year, in 2025. I don't know, but the United States did not have. I don't know if it's official yet, but I know before the United States did not have an official language. It's because Americans, they have a lot of immigrants, so they don't have an official language, right? I don't think they all. I don't think they have an official religion as well. I don't think so. I'm not sure, but I don't think they do. Like officially in the constitution, they don't have that. For example, in my country, we have an official language and we have an official religion. It's official in the law, like in the constitution. The constitution is the highest law. But in the United States, I know, as a teacher of English, I know they don't have an official language yet. Maybe they will do it, but they don't have an official religion. I'm not very sure. I'm gonna check it in a moment. So let's go back to our questions. When was the Declaration of Independence signed? Meaning, when was the United States officially independent? In 1776, not in 19, in 1776. This is the Declaration of Independence. This is the official paper that made the United States officially an independent country. So they gained their independence from the United Kingdom. Exactly. Before they did not have an official language. Now, maybe I think I've heard something that they are trying to have an official language. I think they are trying to do that. I think they are trying to do that. Especially like with the rise of Donald Trump and all the right wing and the conservatives. And all right, I have a lot of people watching, but I only have 2 people participating. Please, please, if you can participate with us, I would really, really appreciate that. I think we have a lot of like talented people, a lot of interesting ideas just waiting to be shared in the chat. Please share your ideas here. Don't deprive us from your ideas, please. All right, great. That's why exactly. So, all right, very interesting. This is very interesting. So, for my friend Sambo, he says he thinks or he believes that Donald Trump or the United States having an official language is the right thing. Wonderful. Wonderful. I like these ideas. I like it when people share their opinion, because then someone else can share his opinion or her opinion. Then we can have a discussion, and then we can all learn something. All right, good. So, well, for people who are not familiar with what we do in our channel, we always like to learn 5 words in every listening. 5 words. So today we're going to learn 5 words in this listening, and the words are colony, independence, conquer, declaration, governor. Very easy words. I know a lot of you already know these words. In front of these words, we have their synonyms: freedom, settlement, defeat, statement, ruler. But what you guys need to do is to match for me each word with its synonym. That's what I want you to do. All right. So this is so because we're talking about the official language of the United States, and this is what the official website of the American government says. So indeed, the United States now has an official language. So official language of the United States, English is the official language. Does the United States have an official language? So yes, English was designated as the official language of the United States starting from March 2025. So before the 1st of March, before March 2025, the United States did not have an official language. Very interesting, right? So before March 2000, meaning before this year, the United States did not have an official language. So no official language. Very interesting. So now they do have an official language, and that official language is English. Very interesting. So Sufyan says, or Naif, sorry, Naif Sultan, not Sufyan. Sultan says 2A. So Sultan, which country are you joining us from? So 2 is A, meaning independence is freedom. Wonderful. That's the first correct answer. Perfect. So again, we have a list of words, and then we have a list of their synonyms, and I want you to match them. Like my friend here, Naif said, for example, 2, independence means freedom. My friend Sambo here says 2 is A, 3 is C. Conquer is to defeat. 4 is D. 4 is the meaning for declaration statement. All right. 1 is B, a colony settlement. Yemen. Wow. Now, nice. I would love to visit Yemen one day. Perfect. All right. So you guys got them all correct. So let's share the ideas indeed. So 1 is B, 2 is A, 3 is C, 4 is D, 5 is E. So very briefly, let me go through them again. So a colony is a settlement. So a colony is a country or a place that is occupied or that is controlled by another country. Independence, of course, is freedom. When you are independent, that means you are free. Conquer is to defeat or control someone, especially like when we talk about countries. If a country conquers another country, that means it controls it, it takes over it. To take over, that's the verb, to take over. All right, a declaration is a statement, especially when it's made in public. Let me show you the last statement that we have seen, or declaration. Let me show you the last one. The last declaration that we have seen is this: the Declaration of Independence. It's an official public document that says the United States is officially independent country. Let me go back. Where were we? All right, we were here. Okay, perfect. So that's declaration. Governor, of course, is a person who is a ruler of a place. The governor. Governors still exist today, and actually, governor is where the word government come from. Government. They should declare English as the official language because I observed that Spanish is taken gradually there. I completely agree with you, with one part at least, that indeed, actually, the majority of Americans, English is not spoken by the majority of Americans. In the United States, like the most dominant language is actually Spanish, right? A lot of people, of course, speak like, especially with immigrants. Should that mean that they should impose English? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Very simple. I don't have an answer. But all right. Well, each country deserves to have. Well, you know what? Some countries don't have one official language. For example, my country has two official languages. The main one is French. The second one is Tamazight, which is a local language. So two languages or three even. They can have more than one language as the official language. There is no law that says you cannot. Um, okay, I'm gonna skip this one. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna skip this one. If you guys don't mind. All right, now we arrive to the most important part for a lot of people, which is the listening. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna listen to one chapter from our channel. But first, let me very quickly um, find the right place and fix everything. Of course, these are the 5 rules or the 3 rules that we always have in our channel, which go as follow. I'm gonna play for you one chapter from our channel. So the chapter, of course, is about one of our topics, which is independence, American Independence Day. All right. So, all right, give me 1 second, please. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna listen to a chapter from our channel about the War of Independence between the United States and the United Kingdom, how it started, what happened during it, and we have 3 rules that you can see on the screen. So rule number 1 is listen carefully because I'm gonna ask you some questions later on. Number 2, while you are listening, if you don't understand a word, please don't hesitate to ask me about the word that I'm going to explain it for you. So while you are listening, you can ask me about any word that we come across and I'm going to explain it for you. I'm going to pause and then explain it. Number 3, and that's the most important one for me, if you can double click on the screen, please. I have a lot of people watching. I want more people to watch this video. If you can do me a favor, double click on the screen so that it gets recommended to more people so that they can also listen and benefit from our channel. And I'm not gonna ask for too long. I want to go to the listening part. All right, so let's change it to this one. Okay. All right, so listen carefully. I'm gonna ask you some questions later on. Let's go.
Chapter 3: The War of Independence.
All right, perfect.
More and more British people came to live on the east coast of North America.
So just to understand what happened before this, so the United, like there were a lot of Americans. They came to the United States from England, from other parts of the. Of course, if you want to know like the whole story, you can go to our channel. You can go to the channel, and then you can go to the story of America. The video is 1 hour and 40 minutes, so it's a long video, but it tells you the whole story of the United States from the beginning until today, right? From history. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that here we talk about how Americans started fighting against Britain. So a lot of people were coming from the United Kingdom to America. This was a new land for them. Like America was just discovered, and it was a new land, and a lot of like Britain was controlling the United States. It was controlling the United States. The United States at this time was divided. It was divided between America, between England, between France and Spain. They were controlling the whole of the United States. So we're gonna listen to what happened and how did they start fighting England.
More and more British people came to live on the east coast of North America in the 17th century, starting colonies in Maryland, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, North and South Carolina, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Georgia followed in the 18th century, when the British also took New York and Delaware from the Dutch. By 1770, there were 13 colonies.
All right, let me very quickly address you guys. So thank you so much first. Thank you so much, Naya, for your beautiful comment. I hope this will be your last time watching our channel and our live streams. I wanna welcome Nishai. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Nishai, hello to you. And Nishai, you came on the right time because we have just started listening. I'm gonna go back just for Nishai. I'm gonna go back. Let me go back a little bit. I want Nishai to start with us at the right time. All right. Wait. Okay, chapter 3. So Nishai, please listen carefully. This is for everyone watching. Listen carefully. I'm gonna ask you some questions later on, and I want you to be able to answer me.
More and more British people came to live on the east coast of North America in the 17th century, starting colonies in Maryland, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, North and South Carolina, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Georgia followed in the 18th century. British also took New York and Delaware from the Dutch. By 1770, there were 13 colonies along the east coast of North America, and they were all governed by Britain. But Britain was a long way away, and the people of the colonies became angry at the high taxes that the government made them pay. In December 1773, a group of men threw 342 boxes of tea into the sea at Boston because they did not want to pay the British tax on it. This was the Boston Tea Party. The British government was now angry too, and in April 1775, some Americans fought a group of British soldiers at the towns of Lexington and Concord, near Boston in Massachusetts. More and more Americans arrived until the British soldiers had to move back to Boston. A few months later, after the Battle of Bunker Hill near Boston, it was clear that Britain was at war with its American colonies. A rich farmer from Virginia, George Washington, became the chief of the American Army.
Thank you, Sabo, for being here, and I hope we'll see you another time here. It's okay, Nishai. Everybody's special here on the channel.
People tell a story about Washington to show that he was an honest man. They say that when he was a boy, he cut down a tree, and this made his father angry. But when his father asked him about it, he told him, "I cannot tell a lie. I cut down the tree." The colonies did not say that they wanted to be fully independent until the summer of 1776. A man called Thomas Jefferson wrote the famous Declaration of Independence, where he said that the king, George III, was not a good king because he had not let his people have their rights. The right to life, to freedom, and to happiness. The day of the Declaration of Independence, the 4th of July, is another important American holiday. The Americans finally won the war in October 1781, and 2 years after that, they were free to govern themselves.
And this is exactly why we are talking about this today, because today is the 4th of July. So it's a commemoration of what happened on this day. So America became officially independent on this very day, on the 4th of July.
In 1789, they made George Washington their first president. Although he wanted to go back to his farm at Mount Vernon and enjoy a quiet life, he stayed president until 1797. He died in 1799, just 2 years after he returned home. The names United States of America and American were first used at the time of the War of Independence. The 13 colonies became the first 13 states of the United States. In 1803, after Jefferson became the third president, he bought a large area of land in the Midwest from France. It was 5 times as big as France, and it only cost $15 million. Jefferson then sent 2 brave men, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, to travel across America all the way to the Pacific. With a young Native American woman called Sacagawea to help them, the 2 men traveled 13,000 kilometers between 1804 and 1806. They found many animals, plants, and fish that were new to Europeans, and they made maps of the rivers, mountains, and land that they crossed. In 1819, the USA bought Florida from Spain. The United States was now twice as big as it had been in 1781. And by 1848, after it won Texas and the Southwest from Mexico, it had grown again. It now reached all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific, over 5,000 kilometers. Finally, the American government bought the land northwest of Canada from Russia in 1867 for $7.2 million, and it became the state of Alaska in 1959. The American flag, known as the Stars and Stripes, first appeared at the time of the War of Independence. It has a stripe for each of the first 13 states, and a star was added every time a new state joined. So there are now 50 stars. The last star was added when the beautiful islands of Hawaii in the Pacific, 4,000 kilometers west of California, became the 50th state of the USA in 1959. Chapter 4: The Civil War. The young country grew quickly, and by the middle of the 19th century, it had 31 million.
All right, we're not gonna talk about the Civil War. That's a topic for a different day, because today is the Independence Day. Yes, Nishai, is today Independence Day of the United States? Yes, it is, because today is the 4th of July. So today is the day of the independence of the United States. So I hope you have enjoyed the listening for. Wait, oopsie, I need to fix the light. Give me a second. Today, yes, indeed, it is the Independence Day in the United States of America. Yes, so this is a very big day in America. So I asked you in the beginning to listen carefully, because I said I'm gonna till now. Perfect. So let's see if you were listening carefully. Let's see if you were listening carefully. So, all right, let me remove this. I'm gonna ask you some questions, of course, related to the chapter that we talked about. So let's go. First set of questions is true or false. So is this statement true or false? there were 10 British colonies in America until by 1770. There were 10 British colonies in America by 1770. So before the independence of the United States, I'm just going to explain what's going on here. The United Kingdom was colonizing or colonized 10 colonies in America, or built 10 colonies. That's the equivalent of like 10 cities or 10 villages there in the United States. Is that true? Is that false? From the audio that you just listened to, from the text you just listened to. So you were not listening very carefully, I see. This is false. All right. So by 1770, there were 13 colonies. And actually, these 13 colonies is what will become later the 13 first states of the United States. I have a picture actually of this. So these are the colonies that we are talking about. And you can see that they are on the west coast of the United States. So this is like modern day Washington and New York and New Jersey. No, not New Jersey. South Carolina, Georgia, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. So all of these were colonies of the United Kingdom. And these were the first 13 colonies that made the United States. So the United States in the beginning, after the independence, was made of 13 states, not 51 like it is today. Yes, so I think some of you asked me about the Boston Tea Party in the very beginning. Did you get what happened in Boston Tea Party in the very... It is difficult. It's okay, Ting Wang. It's all right. We're here to have like a little bit of fun and not to make life difficult for you guys. The Boston Tea Party took place because Americans didn't want to pay British taxes. I hope you paid attention to this one at least, because the Boston Tea Party is basically what started the independence war in the United States. It was one of the main factors, the direct factors that started the independence war in the United States. Is this true or is this false? So the Boston Tea Party happened because Americans didn't want to pay British taxes. Very interesting event, and I'm gonna go back to the picture that I showed you earlier. I showed you a picture earlier. I want to go back to that. Oh, no answer. No answer. Come on, people. Just give me guesses then. Why or what was the reason of the Boston Tea Party? Was it indeed that the United States imposed some taxes on Americans? I'm gonna quit if you don't answer me this one, because I was really saying you need to pay attention to that. This is okay. This is true. Yes, this is true. So basically, group of men through 300. So I'm gonna very simply like summarize what happened on the Boston Tea Party. So a group of men threw some boxes, like okay. So the United Kingdom was bringing some like products from the United Kingdom, from Britain to the United States. Right. So they were bringing some goods like tea from Britain to the United States, and they were imposing, asking them to pay very high taxes that Americans don't want to pay. So what did the Americans do? Let me show you what they did. So basically what they did is that they went to the ships that had the tea on them. It's a very interesting event. All right, so this is what happened. They went to the ships and they threw the tea in the ocean. And that's why it was called the Boston Tea Party, because they were not happy, because they were not independent. The United Kingdom was controlling them, by the way, or basically was controlling them. Uh, like the king of the United Kingdom was imposing more and more taxes, so that Americans were paying more and more money. So Americans were not happy with that. So what did they do? They went to the ships, the British ships that were bringing the tea all the way from England, and they simply throw that tea into the ocean. And that's why it was called the Boston Tea Party. Very interesting event, and actually, this was one of the main events that led to the War of Independence. So, yes, so a group of men threw 342 boxes. So, Britain lost a lot of money on that day into the sea at Boston because they did not want to pay the British tax on it. So they said, "All right, you want us to pay taxes? Screw you. We're gonna throw your products into the ocean." George Washington was not involved in the War of Independence. Let's make this as the last question for today, because I see a lot of I don't feel a lot of energy coming from the chat anymore. Maybe it's because of summer. Maybe a lot of you are very busy, very tired. Maybe very, I don't know, very bored. Probably. If that's the case, you can tell me, and we can change like the theme. George Washington was not in the War of Independence in the United States War of Independence. Was that correct? Or was that false? We answered this question like 3 times before. So I will be very disappointed if you don't get the answer. I'm very sad. No answers. All right, he was indeed, of course. Oh, false. Yeah, because he was, of course, he was involved. He was actually the chief of the American army. He was the leader of the war against the United Kingdom. Very interesting history, man. That's very interesting history. Okay, so the Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson. Is that correct? Is that false? From what we listened to. Is this statement true or false? The Declaration of Independence, since today is the Independence Day in the United States, was written by Thomas Jefferson. Is this correct or is it false? Nishai, where are you? Ting Wang, where are you? Nayef, where are you? So come on, people. I think everybody went to sleep, it seems. All right, this is true, of course. A man called Thomas Jefferson was or wrote the famous Declaration of Independence. This is the guy, of course. This is Thomas Jefferson, the man who wrote the Declaration of Independence. The American colonies immediately declared their independence as the start of the war. Let me see who's saying this. I joined the video lately. Yes, so it's okay, Team One. It's okay. But I hope you benefited from what we talked about like the Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party is one of the most interesting events in the history, probably, of the United States, especially like I'm talking about Independence War. Very, very interesting. All right. So this is true. So it's in red. The colonies did not say they wanted to fully. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna stop here probably. All right, so that was that, guys, and all right. Well, I'm very glad with the much of interaction that I had today. I'm gonna wait a little bit if you guys have any questions or have any recommendations or any comments or anything you want to share, even if it's a criticism. We welcome it with a very very warm heart. So if you have anything to share with us, please do before we close this live stream. Of course, we're gonna you on Tuesday. So Tuesday, I'm still we have so well for people maybe who joined us late, like Tingwang. Let me just very briefly tell you about Wu English. So it's a channel where we believe the best way to learn English is through listening, because that's how babies, little babies, that's how they learn English. So we believe if you want to learn English effectively, you should learn English the natural way, and that's through listening and then trying to like use it yourself. So, but first you need to listen. So that's why we provide you with one video, one very interesting listening video that you can play in your car while you are doing your tours, while you are doing while you are at the gym, while you are like taking your walk in the morning. So while you are doing your activities, you can listen to our videos in your headphones, and you can be naturally learning English. So our themes also are very interesting. We have stories, we have like history videos, we have politics videos, we have science videos, we have all themes that you can benefit from, and with that we are sure you will definitely love. So we recommend highly that you join us. Of course, we have two live streams like the one you have just watched today. We have two of them every single week where we discuss your favorite videos live, and we give you a chance to actually practice what you learned during the week. So that was that for today's live stream. Of course, we have another one on Tuesday at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. See you.